Relationship advice. Update. I'm completely lost because I just found out that my 42 male wife, 36 female, of 12 years has been having an affair from the police who called me in for questioning involving the attack of her lover. Original post. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I don't know if this is the right sub or even if I should be posting this, but I don't have a clear mind right now and I'm here to ask for some direction. I've been married to my wife for 12 years. We have an amazing 11-year-old son. Until last night, I thought we had a good marriage. I thought I was always really good to her. We have no money problems, no intimacy problems, and I have never taken her for granted. I honestly wake up every morning and thank God she is my wife. Now I don't know what to think. I got a call from my local police department as I was getting off work yesterday. They asked if I could come to the police station as soon as possible. I panicked. I asked if something had happened to my wife or son, but they said not to worry, just get to the station ASAP. When I got there, they put me in a room with a table and some chairs. They asked me my name, which I gave, then they started asking all these questions about a guy my wife works with. I haven't seen or spoken to this guy literally since December 2019 at my wife's company Christmas party. The two officers kept asking me things like how long have you known, and, how did you find out? The only answer I could give was, what are you talking about? After about an hour of this, I just stopped answering their questions and kept asking where my son and wife were, and were they safe. We just kept going around and around, until after about 2 hours on and off, because they would periodically leave the room for 15 to 20 minutes then come back, and start it all over again like some cheap cop show. The last time they came in, the cop handed me a tablet and showed me a video of my wife and the guy from her work having intercourse. I don't remember much right after that, I just remember screaming, "What the F is this?" over and over again. I had a full-blown panic attack right there in the middle of the police station. The police had a paramedic check me out, and he said my blood pressure was something like 170 over 110. He wanted me to go to the hospital but I refused, and said I needed to find my wife and my son. After I calmed down, the officers explained that the guy in the video had been having an affair with my wife, and apparently, several other women. He had been found that morning in his driveway beaten, violated, and set on fire. He was still alive but in critical condition, and they didn't know if he would make it. His wife had given them permission to go through his phone and computer, and that's where they found the video of my wife. They asked me where I was that morning, and I told them the gym, then work about 10 minutes from my gym. At that point they said I could go, but that I might not want to stay at my house, because they didn't know if his affair with my wife could be why he was attacked. They also said my wife wasn't the only person he was having an affair with. That's when I rushed home. My son was staying with our neighbors, so I got him and went home. We packed some clothes, and his laptop for school. I grabbed my gun and we headed to my parents' house 45 minutes away. I still haven't heard from my wife. Her phone is going straight to voicemail. I've called the officer who gave me his card, and he said she is at the hospital with the guy she's been cheating with. I am sitting here in bed with my son on one side of me and my 38 on the other. My dad is sleeping in his chair in the living room with a shotgun across his lap, and I've not slept in over 30 hours. I don't even know where to start. Anything would be helpful right now, any advice or ideas. I am in a fog. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Well, this is pretty wild, but not uncommon. I believe you know the answer to this one, but it just seems so, what the hell, right now. To break it down. Wife cheated on you. Guy gets beaten up to an inch of his life. Police question you, tell you your wife is having an affair. You blow up, righteously. Frantically call her/want her to answer. Hasn't answered you, nor called you at all. Is at the hospital with the guy she cheated on you with. What you need to do is instead of having that 38 in your hand, you need a phone in your hand. Get a divorce lawyer, and have these police officers properly document how she's with the guy she cheated on you with, and to get evidence of that adult tape they made. This will be uncontestable evidence that makes sure she won't get jack when you divorce. You'll be glad you did this. This will also help with custody arrangements down the line as well. I know it's a hard to swallow pill, but she doesn't love you. Imagine the love of your life, in the arms of another man who treated many women like his toys. You heard it firsthand of how many women he screwed over. She was worried about his safety over your own. But I know you're hurting very much, but realize that if this gets really messy, divorce-wise, your kid will literally be shattered beyond belief. It's your duty to bring this horrendous BS to a swift end, so she can't raise hell back. I hope you'll get a good night's sleep soon, both for you and your kid. It sounds like you are all he has, besides your parents. Yeah, my parents are up now, and my mom has been in to check on us. I think what you said is the best plan. At this point, I don't even want to know any more than what I've found out yesterday. I'm sick and disgusted by this whole situation. 14 years together down the drain. But I got my son out of it, so it was every bit worth it. If you haven't slept in 30 hours, please put your gun away. Your dad's shotgun is plenty. Yeah, my mom took it. I'm going to try to sleep for a while. Hopefully you mean ex-wife. But why are you scared? The guy who did that to him should have absolutely no bad feeling towards you, because you're in the same boat as him. You just need to get rid of the piece of crap wife. She refuses to even talk to you because she's consoling her affair partner. Who knows what kind of crazy is going through this guy's mind? It may have nothing to do with my wife or my family, but the look in that cop's eyes when he told me to stay somewhere else was all I needed to know. I'm so exhausted I don't know what to think. And now for the update. I attempted to post this on Saturday, December 19th, but it didn't go through, and I got blocked from reposting because I asked a yes or no question. Anyway, here it is again. I am working a bit, so I may not be able to reply that much right now. My original post was removed, but a lot of people messaged me and asked for an update. I thought I would fill everyone in on what has happened this week, because the replies I got helped me so much. I really feel like I owe this community a big thank you for helping me get my head on straight, and pointed me in the right direction to get everything done as fast as possible. For those people who said my post was fake, my only reply is, I wish, from the bottom of my heart, that it was. Sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. For those who said they couldn't find a news story, apparently due to the nature of the attack, a lot of information was withheld. Even our local news outlets only reported it as an assault, and it was nothing more than a blurb on our nightly news. For those who implied or directly stated, the police wouldn't do that, you are 100% wrong, because they did. I found out from my lawyer that the police can literally do or say anything they want, especially if you aren't under arrest, short of direct threats of harm. That includes lying directly to your face, which they did. It turns out my wife wasn't at the hospital with her lover when I contacted the detective. She had been admitted to that hospital's psychiatric facility much earlier in the day, while he was still in surgery. I don't know why they would lie about that, but they did. Needless to say, this situation has caused me to become very suspicious of law enforcement. After I woke up that afternoon, I contacted my uncle's law partner, who is a family friend. He actually came to my parents' house and sat down with me to go over my options. His entire law firm is now representing me, both in the divorce and criminal defense. That day, Sunday, he got me an emergency custody order and a protective order against my wife, for me, my son, and my parents. Our court date is in 60 days. The police served her on Monday as she was leaving the psych hospital. According to her brother, who is a close personal friend of mine, she did not take it well. She is staying with her parents for the time being. I still haven't talked to her, and she hasn't made any attempt to speak to me either, whether that's due to shame, indifference, or the order of protection, I don't know, but I'm glad of it all the same. My wife is not the person I thought she was, and I'm ashamed of myself for not seeing it sooner. I had to tell my son something, so I decided to tell him the truth, age appropriate, and literally the first words out of his mouth was, "Please don't let mommy take me away." I asked him why he would say that, and from what he tells me, my wife has been treating him very badly when I wasn't around, and told him, if he told me, she would take him away and my son would never see me again. She has been emotionally torturing our son, and I was too blind to see it. That wrecked me more than the video, to be honest. I told the lawyer about what my son said, and he used my son's statement and her mental state and commitment to get the emergency custody. I have contacted his school for therapy resources, and he will start therapy after the first of the year. I feel like the worst father to ever walk the face of the earth at this point. As for our families, her parents contacted me Tuesday and asked to come see us. I was still at my parents' at the time, and I told them they could come, but she was not allowed anywhere near us. They agreed. They were so apologetic, and her poor mother didn't stop crying the entire time she was with us. Her father was heartbroken and kept referring to my wife as that girl. They both said they felt like something was going on with her, and they did not raise her to be this way. We hugged and cried before they left, and I told them they will always be a part of our lives no matter what happens with the divorce. After what my son told me, their visit was the hardest part of our whole ordeal. My lawyers have been doing amazing work so far. They found out that the man my wife was sleeping with has a long criminal record. One of the lawyers informed me that when they went to print out the guy's arrest record, the printer ran for 5 minutes straight. From what they could learn, he is currently on parole for D offenses, and has had gang affiliations in the past. He is still alive but in critical condition, and still may not make it. The firm has an investigator who contacted the co-worker who drove my wife to the hospital. The co-worker informed them that my wife's affair was an open secret around the office. My lawyers think that's how the police figured out who I was, and who my wife was in the video. There are several photos of last year's Christmas party at her work, and my wife and I are in several of them. That's where I currently am in this whole situation. I am just numb, still lost, and heartbroken. How long does the numbness last, and is there any way to get past this emotional lethargy faster? I mean really numb, like a dream. Everything I've just said has felt like it's happening to someone else. Now for some top comments. My heart goes out for you and your family. I can't imagine the amount of pain you feel, but maybe also relief? Your wife is a horrible person and she doesn't deserve to have a family, so I hope that you get full custody of your son. I hope you can all heal together, and become stronger and better people, even though by the looks from your story, you seem to already be such a lovely father in person. I wish you the best. Thank you for your kind words. I never thought I would find myself in this situation. It's really like grieving a death. I am still coming to terms with it all. I hope you realize that even though this situation seems like the end for you, like everything you loved is gone, I can and will guarantee that the ending to this will only bring things better. You'll be happier, your son will be happier, I promise. It all comes with time. You're a very good, wonderful and caring father. A lot of people would have wished for a father like you. So I hope you fight with all your heart for full custody. Don't let her take him away, he doesn't want it, which is most important. I want you and your son to just be happy, and to just be free from this. Honestly, you are very brave. Your wife clearly doesn't know what she's lost and that's her own fault, so don't ever let her back in. You and your son are now family, your wife made her bed and she must sleep in it. Honestly, I wish I could hug you, and tell you in person that it's all going to be fine, because it will all be fine. In fact, one day all of it will be amazing. Live your life with your son. Oh yeah, I will sell everything I own and live with my parents again, if that's what it takes to protect my son from her. His safety is a non-negotiable for me after what he's told me over the last week. I haven't pushed him, but just let him know that I am here to listen and protect him. She treated him horribly and neglected him. I really did not know this woman after 12 years, that's what hurts the most. I would actually tell people she was a good mother. I am glad you are no longer talking to the police. If you want to learn more about how they turn lying to people into an art, look up the Reid technique. Essentially, they twisted sales techniques into selling people jail sentences, the one product no one wants to buy. It was so shocking to me to be treated like that. The only interaction I've ever had with the police before all this was a few traffic tickets, and it was always respectful. This has opened my eyes to what they are capable of, and it's really changed my opinion of a lot of what I've heard about law enforcement. Now for the next story. Updated, husband, 30 male, cheated on me, 27 female, with my own sister, 21 female. Upset. Confused. Angry. Original post. Forgive me if it's confusing in places, I'm still shaking and confused by the whole situation. So me and my partner have been together for 6 years, live together and have a 5-week-old daughter. Me and my sister had a very close relationship, since my parents haven't always been the best or supportive figures in our lives, so we clung together and would even consider myself the mother and father figure in her life. Mine and my partner's relationship has been fairly strained, since my daughter has been born. He would stay late at work, be dismissive when I would want to communicate our feelings, and huff and puff when I would tend to our daughter. I had a fairly rough pregnancy and quite a traumatic birth, so my libido and overall body confidence is scarce. I don't feel like being intimate most days and my partner would give me the silent treatment, but I never worried about him being unfaithful. I was feeding my daughter on the sofa tonight with my husband sitting next to me. We were both watching TV and his phone kept vibrating, but I had a feeling something wasn't right with the number of notifications, and how quickly he would answer. He got up to go to the bathroom and he didn't take his phone with him this time. I grabbed it, put the passcode in and had a look who the messages were coming from. It was my sister. Before I looked at the messages, my heart dropped and my heart was in my mouth when I started looking at the messages. There were nudes, texting and conversation on how I'm not putting out like I used to, which was a knife in my chest. They had met about 4 times, in which I realized was the times where I was taking myself to the doctor for scans and checkups, and getting shopping for my grandparents. I am beyond distraught. I have no idea what to do, where to go and how to go about confronting them. I feel like my whole world has come crashing down. I have lost my husband and my sister. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Send yourself copies of those messages and any replies that he may have sent. And get yourself a lawyer or woman's aid advocate, before you let him know what you found out. Things you said about him before you wrote about the texts that you saw, led me to believe that he was a jerk. You don't need to put up with a jerk like that in your life. You deserve better. I second this. This is a double betrayal here. How could they both do this to you at a vulnerable time, is despicable. Also, please find a therapist to help you here. Note, you did nothing wrong here, they both did. Prepare yourself to boot him out and go no contact with both of them. You have other friends and your child to think about here. Those two are both off their rockers, and only if they both accept their responsibility in all this and get some serious mental help, will their lives be maybe redeemable. But prepare that they will not, and project all blame on you. Please try to take care of yourself here by eating, drinking water and resting as much as you can with a newborn and this information. Your husband and sister are absolute trash. Please consult a therapist as soon as possible and bring your daughter out of this mess. It is by no means your fault, and you should not blame yourself for this. You are a beautiful being and your body produced a child. That is the most beautiful and coolest thing ever. Be proud of what you have created. I hope you find the help you need during this horrible time. The people in this subreddit are always here for you. I'm concerned that since they've been together 6 years, and the sister is only 21, some grooming may have taken place. Please suspend judgment until OP has had a chance to discover the whole story. Her sister was 15 when OP, then 21, got together with her husband who was then 24. Does anybody feel icky about this? Was there training? Looking back, it looks dodgy. Leaving rooms together at gatherings. I'm definitely going to pursue this avenue also with lawyers. And now for the update. A lot has happened since I last posted. A lot came out, a lot has been said, and now it's all out on the table. I called an aunt of mine after I posted, and saw some comments saying I should have a friend or family member by. I packed my baby a bag, bottles and stuff for a short stay with my auntie who's been close by for the pregnancy, and knows how to look after my baby because I don't want my child in the house whilst I talk about this. My husband was confused, and was asking why I was packing stuff for her and not me also. I told him he will see. I texted my sister, come over right now. And she pushed Y and called me, but I just messaged her to get over here. Took her about 15 minutes to come, and my aunt came and took my daughter in that time, and my husband was getting increasingly worried. When my sister pulled up, my husband's butt fell out. The sudden look of realization hit him and he started crying. My sister came in and I told her to sit down, and I did as you all asked, took pictures of the chat, her number, and all the contents that was on the chat, pulled it up on the smart TV, and told them both to tell me what the hell had been going on. Admittedly, I did look quite insane, but I didn't care. She started crying, he started saying he was sorry over and over, and I explained they had broken me how I raised my sister and gave my husband a daughter, and this is how they repay me. They confessed it had been happening for at least 7 months. He did her in our bed a couple of times, and they said it wasn't like they were in love with each other. Getting a lawyer in the morning, he's confessed to kissing a co-worker too. I'll be picking my daughter up in an hour and he's currently packing his stuff, whilst my sister is crying and begging me to not disown her. I'm ignoring it whilst I'm writing this. Really see I can only depend on myself in this time, and divorce is an only option for me, because I don't want my daughter thinking men can do this to her. He's begging me, and they are both begging me, but I'm not cracking. They made their bed, they can lie in it. Thank you everyone for your support and kindness. So sorry this happened to you. It was good to confront them together, so you get the whole story and they didn't have time to get a fake narrative together. 7 months is a long time and a lot of betrayal. No one needs those types of people in their lives. Take care of you and that baby, and let them be background noise. Lawyer up ASAP. Great that you got evidence. Keep good friends and family close, like your aunt, and let everyone know what they did so that they don't lie, because they will. Please take the best care of you and Munchkin. Things will be sad and difficult for a long while, but I promise they will start improving, and you will come out better and much better off. There are good people in the world, you just got two of the horrible ones. I would go no contact as much as possible with those two. I'm glad you're sticking to your guns, OP. Your husband is a serial cheater and your sister is just a freaking bad person. Go no contract with your sister, she should be dead to you, and only contact your soon-to-be ex about a custody order. Don't listen to the crying or begging from either of them. I saw that you've commented on r/raised by narcissists, so expect your parents to say something about everything that's going on, and how you have to forgive your sister. Don't listen to nonsense from anyone. You are making the best choice for you and your daughter. I wish you the best. My parents are very much like that, and they're at an arm's length also. Everything me and my sister went through with them, it's surprising she is willing to sacrifice me. I feel I am making the best choice, and believe in consequences to life-altering actions, which this is. I've blocked her on social media and her number, and will speak with someone about custody of my baby. My stomach dropped as I read this, OP. I'm sorry this happened. Listen, take this time for you and your baby. Surround yourself with people who love you and appreciate you. Lawyer up and take care of yourself. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day, everyone.